ladies and gentlemen, the distressingly sexual Celia Delaney.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz. I'm gonna rouge my knees and roll my stockings down. And all that jazz. Start the car. I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. And it's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. Yeah. That is the opening number to Chicago, which is a long-running musical in the West End. It was a really sweltering summer when I went to audition for Chicago. I was young, I was aspirational, I still had hope back then, and hope has died since then. I turn up and it's an open audition, which means that anybody can turn up to audition. So I go to Pineapple Studios, very famous studios in London, and people are already queuing way down the street. So I think, that's fine, I can wait. I get in line, start to wait. We inch forward, and after a mere 3 hours, I make it into the studios, up the stairs, of which there are many in Pineapple, all the way up to the 3rd floor, which is where the auditions are happening. And we're all knackered by this point. So luckily there's some tea and coffee that we can have. So I grab myself a cup of tea or 3 while I'm waiting and the hours are still ticking round. But I'm still not seen, and my number on my ticket is 673, right? I'm about in the middle, I'm serious. And we're on about number 600 and they're calling us out in batches to go in. I'm thinking, I've got time here. And I'm starting to think, I really need the loo. Like, I'm thirsty. Right, and I'm thinking, I've got time. I'm going to do it. I suddenly decide I'm going to go to the loo. Trouble is, it's 3 floors down in the basement. So I'm like, no, I've got time. I'm watching the door where they're all going through, and I can see everyone's still waiting. I think, I'm going to make a dash for it. So down I go. Excuse me. Now people are on the stairs. Excuse me, sorry. Don't mind if I just can't. Thanks so much. Thank you. Get to the loo. Back I go. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Sorry. I'm number 673. I'm allowed to come through. Right, sorry, thank you. I get back up to the 3rd floor and I look, and there's no one here that I recognise. And I say to the tea lady, I said, where have they gone? And she went, oh, they've gone through, they've called your number. I was like, what? I've queued for 5 hours and they've gone in. This is a complete disaster. Of course, what I should have thought here was, I'll hang back and go in a group later. But no, I didn't think that. I just thought, wait for me! I'm 673! So I go in to the back of the room. Here I arrive. And I realise it's fine. It's not over. The only trouble is, the choreographer has just shown them the routine that we have to do. So I think, it doesn't matter. I'm at the back, okay? I'll just follow everybody else. So I get behind 4 other people and I get started. I think, right, I'm good. Just think, fussy. And we start, and it's going quite well. Because we start, come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? And all that jazz. And that's all it is. I'm thinking, I can do this. It's not that bad, really. Of course, I'm very slightly behind everyone because I'm just trying to watch. But I'm thinking, I'm getting away with this. Then they all turn round to face me. I realise there's a turn in this dance. Okay, it's fine. Here I go. Of course, there's no mirrors at this side, they're on that side. I now can't see anyone to copy them. So I'm thinking, it's probably quite similar to the first bit. I'm going to do that. So I start going, I'm gonna rouge my knees and pull my stockings down. I'm trying to keep an eye on them. I'm thinking it's close. And then I can see in the corner of my eye they're doing something. So I go into the next bit and I go, start the car. And I start doing like this. And I realise that there's silence behind me. And I'm just about to turn around and they're all looking at me. And I think, no, I've gone into Michael Jackson's Thriller there. I'm just doing the zombie. That's all I'm doing. And this lone voice from the choreographer goes, get out. I think it's fair to say, ladies and gentlemen, that was both the beginning and the end of my musical theatre career. Oh yes, never worked again. So what I want you to do for me now is to close your eyes for me. Close your eyes. Sleep, sleep, sleep. And I would like you to think of a time when you missed out on a really great opportunity. A time when it was something that you really, really wanted to do. You were desperate to do it. But you missed out on it because you really, really needed the loo. Everyone got that? No. No, really. I just want you to think of that time, seriously. Think of a time when there was something that you wanted, but stuff got in the way and you didn't manage to get it, or maybe you overcame a lot of obstacles to get it. And as you're thinking of that thing, I want you to locate in yourself the most prominent emotion that you're having in that. So for me, with my audition, I would say my most prominent emotion was panic. So if you identify that emotion in yourself, I want you to now turn up the volume of that emotion. So I'm going to count you up 1 to 10. 1 is quite mild, 10 is really intense. Here we go. 1, feel it in your feet. 2, it's going up your legs. 3, 4, into the torso. 5, filling up your heart space. 6, 7, in your throat. 8, coming into the mouth. 9, it's in your brain. 10, straight out the top of your head. Open your eyes. What we're looking at today is how do you take your audience with you on an emotional roller coaster ride? How do you take them through the ups and downs with you when you're speaking? And I made reference to it a little bit earlier in terms of committing to something properly. I think that is a big part of it. You've got to be a little bit bold, take a few risks if you want to actually change people's state. I'm going to look at one specific theory today about how you can tune up and perhaps change the way that you are communicating with audiences when you want them to have a reaction to you. Now, I'm going to use, Michael slightly butchered the flip chart here, so I think it needs a little stroke, wouldn't you agree? It needs a little stroke. Okay, so it needs flattening out. So this is a little gift from, I'm going to actually use Chris's acronym. Yeah, see what I did there? This is a gift. I'm going to make this work for my thing. So the theory I want to talk to you about is moving between the actor and the narrator. Not bad. Not, come on. Flip chart action. So, thanks. When you're telling a story...
Can you get a thicker marker pen though?
I know, I'm sorry. When you're telling a story, it's really important, I think, if you're going to take people on an emotional journey, to think about how you're dropping in and out of the story as both being the actor and being the narrator. So what do you understand by that? What does a narrator do? Tells the story. What does the actor do? Yeah, informs, inhabits it. The actor is actually a character in the story. So think of this as times when you're outside the story and times when you're inside the story as well. Think about when are you actually dropping into it as a character? Can you all think you can find a moment when you could actually step into the story and say, I was right there at the time? Is everyone okay to do that? So a little trick here is that when you're being the narrator is to use past tense. So I said, I went for my audition for Chicago, I turned up. And then as you become the actor, what I want you to do is start to go into the present tense. Okay, that's another way that the audience start to realise you're actually there. And then you can, if you like, come back into the past tense, out into the narrator again. There isn't a rule about how you move in and out of these, because you can play with this format. Sometimes you'll start straight in as the actor and then do some narration. Sometimes you'll narrate, act, narrate. It doesn't really matter as long as there's some clarity for you in terms of where you are at any one time. So past tense and present tense is one part of this. The other thing you might want to think about is eye contact, which you mentioned on the board there. When we're narrating, we typically break the fourth wall, as we say in acting. So in acting terms, we think this is a fourth wall. We're normally pretending that we're inside a house or that we're not essentially looking at the audience. You can break the fourth wall when you're a speaker. You actually look at people, you realise they are there. The narrator very much breaks the fourth wall, very much looks at people and says, this is my story. Something that you might want to play with is when you're being the actor, is that your eye contact can break from the audience. You can go into what's sometimes called an in moment. Doug Stevenson is an American that ran a great workshop on this when we went to Vancouver to the Global Speakers Summit. I managed to catch the tail end of it, and I had a chat with him afterwards. We're both drama school trained, and this is the kind of thing that you learn at drama school. It's quite natural that you want to sort of glaze over and go in a bit and to do your act a bit, and that's fine, that works. It's another clue, like the past tense and present tense, that tells the audience what's happening right now, where are we? Okay, so you can go into yourself. And the third tip I have about actor, narrator work is that when you're being the actor, you've just got to have a little bit of courage. So it's like I was saying to David earlier, I really enjoyed his story. And didn't we love the two bits? The Chinese opera, that bit, and the kung fu. Like those bits? And that's what you'll remember as well. The rest of it you'll forget, I'm afraid. Sorry, David. That's why he gives a handout. It will go. I was a judge for Speaker Factor last year, London PSA, and I can still remember the visual images of people when they acted things out. I can't remember much at all about the points, the facts, the tell, the narration. So it makes it incredibly memorable when we actually act something out. But you do have to have a little bit of courage. So, recap for me the 3 points about actor narrator. The first thing about tense, what did I say there? Yeah, past is narrator, present for actor. Second one about eye contact, what did I say there? So, in and out of the eye contact. And thirdly, what did I say about commitment? Go for it. So, all stand up. And you're going to tell your stories. You can just face me, and we're going to all speak at the same time. Okay? It's madness. It's total madness. We're just going to all tell our stories. Narrator, actor, narrator, in whatever order you want to. But I will be able to tell looking at you whether or not you're committing to it, because I want to see something being acted out at some point. Again, you've just got 3 minutes. And a bit like we were very much enjoying our dance earlier, this is a chance for you to engage a different bit of your brain. So it's really good to just let go with what comes out. No one's actually listening to you. Now, I know that's going to break your hearts as speakers, but that does also give you a chance to take some risk. So here we go, 3 minutes starting now. And the end. Give yourselves a round of applause. Have a seat. Well done. Oh my goodness. So, how did it feel doing that? Stupid. Tell me a little bit more about that. It felt stupid. Who said that? Sorry.
In the beginning I felt a bit silly, but actually after a while I learned to sort of cocoon myself from the other noise and just hear my own voice that wasn't actually coming from here. It was actually, so I enjoy it. I was a bit gutted when you said, that's it. I was just about to go, back to my bit.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And it's really lovely that you've felt that sensation in yourself. So why is it, as speakers then, that a lot of the time we still get up and just do the tell, the narrator? Why? Tell me.
I think because we're trying to too busy worried about actually are they getting from me what they want, I want them to get, whereas that just needs to be completely out of my head.
Yeah. It's safer. Yeah, absolutely. And your point about I'm worrying about them is great. We must worry about our audience's needs. We must meet their needs. There's a real balance here, isn't there, between being good and being self-indulgent. You know, you can't just sort of think, I'm having a great time up here. You know, nobody else has a clue what I'm doing, but I'm acting stuff out. You know, it's going really well. You know, it has to also meet their needs and have a point. And you've got to take them with you. And this is just one technique for doing that. But it's lovely to see that some of you will feel stupid for sure. But when you get over that feeling, there's a very rich reward at the other side of that. Any other thoughts on how it went or feelings? Yeah.
I got the power of acting out a difficult space for people, and mine was kind of quite nervous and stuttery and not sure of itself, and sharing that with people.
Great.
Not just the good, exciting, wow stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So sometimes acting out the darker stuff or things that might have a bit of tragedy or sadness in them can be really effective and hard. You know, I did a song surgery. We've got Lee Jackson doing his PowerPoint surgery later. I came to London and did a cabaret workshop. Can you tell? Yes, I'm trying it out. And we had to bring a song that we wanted to work on. And mine was My Funny Valentine. And I've sung this song a lot as a jazz singer. And I chose it because I know it and I know I could sing it well. And we had a director there helping us. So he said, okay, take it away. So I come on and I go, my funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine. And I proceed like this, you know, looking at the audience, giving it the slight cheese that is jazz, you know, giving it the whole, you know. I'm thinking, it's quite good. You know, I even do the nice big, stay little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. And they all go. And I'm thinking, and he goes, And I thought, oh. And he said, the thing is, it's a great jazz standard, you can sing, but who is my funny Valentine? Who is this person that you're singing to? Because actually what we're getting is something quite general. You know, you're looking at everyone, you know, and this is a quite generalised jazz song. He said, and that's fine. If you want to sing jazz in a corner and have people eat their dinner and not particularly listen to you, if you want to noodle away in the corner, that's fine. Because, of course, that's what you often do as a jazz singer. You know, that's what I've done a lot of. Had a lot of people ignoring me while I sing. It's all right, I'm over it. But if you're going to take people with you, if you're actually going to keep their attention, then you need to be really, really specific. So he got me to sing it again, but he said, I want you to see my funny Valentine right there in front of you. I want you to be able to see him or her. I don't need to know who it is, but you have to be able to see them. So I shut my eyes, was like, okay. Saw this person in front of me, sang the song, and it got to that nice sort of big ending. And I thought, whew. And I started to cry on that big ending, and I could hardly finish the note. My good note that I'm good at. You know, I didn't want to lose my big note. But I was like, stay, little Valentine, stay. I was like really, really struggling to get to the end of it. Each day is Valentine's Day. And it was just like, and what a dry eye in the house. Now, why do you think that was?
Because you portrayed a message.
Yeah, because I was vulnerable enough to show some emotion. I managed to keep the balance of not, it was very strong in me, the emotion, but I just kept it under control enough that they got it rather than just me getting it, because there's something about that with that balance, isn't there? If you're just like, they're probably not getting a lot out of that. That's all I'm saying. It's not therapy up here, people. Speaking. Yeah, so you've got to achieve that balance, but still engage with something inside yourself. The second thing about that was that it was specific. So what he got me to do was stop generalising and make it very, very specific. So although I'm sure there are many things I could improve about my opening story, and thanks for, Chris, for joining in there. My willing volunteer. I think one of the things I try to do is to make things very specific. So I was number 673. The door was over there. I really worked hard to make sure that I was seeing it. Yeah, and that it was specific. So if I can see it, you can see it. So please don't feel that you have to be an actor at all. You don't have to go to drama school to be a speaker. Sometimes it might even hinder you, might even get in the way. But what you do have to do is these techniques of being willing to commit to it, being specific, and actually being willing to see it for yourself and feel it inside you. Okay. So I've put a few things up here that I think relate to state change in the audience. I think when you're a speaker, you might have one technique, you might have two techniques, but what you start to realise is when you watch all these fantastic people get up here, is you think you're going to have to do it all. You're going to need to do it all to be really brilliant, and I'm definitely still working on that. So I've put up here a few ideas. The state change just might, be about seduction. Just a tiny bit. Maybe that's just me. Suspense is a good thing to use. A little touch of silliness goes a long way. Surprise, the element of surprise. I started over there. You don't know where the story's going. All of those kind of things. Engaging with the senses, both in yourself but also in them. It was a sweltering hot summer. I was really uncomfortable. All of that sort of thing. And perhaps, if you can, a little touch of sadness. And my story about my funny Valentine just brings in the light and the shade. Have to say, you can probably tell, I'm rubbish at sadness. Do lots of the silliness and seduction up the top. So that's something I really want to work on as well. So just for my big ending, I want to make this highly participative, today. So what I want to do, because I've never done this before, and I'm excited, is I want you to crowd surf me to the back of the room. Yeah?
Okay. Here we go.
He's going to do it. You're doing it? Yeah? No, not really. Just kidding. Health and safety. Goodness me. I'm going to add this to here, look. I'm going to add this. Something you've got to do here and there. And shock. My name's Celia Delaney, and I teach people speaking success. Thank you so much.